Welcome to our weekly Forex forecast, and this is for trading for the week of May 24th to the 28th, 2021. So before we get started, just a quick disclaimer here. This is for educational purposes only. Trading is a risky business, so please be careful. Oops. Here's my disclaimer. Here we go. So please be careful with your money. Okay, so let's take a look at our calendar as usual. So coming up here on Monday, Monday expected to be a slow day. It is a holiday, bank holiday for Europe. And then in Canada here as well. So just bear that in mind that we may not have enough volume for trading on Monday. We also have Bank of Japan Governor Kuroda speaking. So here with the central bankers, we are just looking at what their views are in regards to the monetary policy, with some central banks looking to change the monetary policy. That will be the focus here for any of the central banks coming up here. Same for Bank of England. So Bank of England and Bank of Canada are two that are more that are working on changing the monetary policy. So they're tightening the monetary policy. That's why pound and Canadian dollar have done well. We have Fed members speaking here as well. And then coming up on Tuesday, we have German IFO business climate numbers. So these are expected to be better than the previous numbers. If that's the case, that would be good for euro, and we are likely to see euro go up. And likewise here, consumer confidence numbers here. At this point, if they come in within reason, I wouldn't expect much of a change here. But US dollar has been a little bit on the back foot recently. So coming up also on Tuesday, we have monetary policy statement from New Zealand here. Again, not expecting an interest rate change from any of the central banks at this point, but again, it will be the commentary that will make a difference. So the forward guidance in regards to when they think the interest rates will need to change or they'll have to tighten the monetary policy, that would be the important thing to pay attention to here. On Wednesday, we have a bunch of or a couple of Fed members speaking here, and then oil inventories. So if there's a buildup in oil inventories, then we will see the oil prices drop, and that would be a negative for Canadian dollar. So we'll keep an eye on that. Coming up on Thursday here, we have preliminary GDP numbers for the quarter for the US, as well as employment claims here. So both of these numbers coming in positive should actually give a boost to the stock market. So we'll keep an eye on that. Also pending home sales on Thursday as well for the month. Right now, looking for a decrease here. We'll see if the markets are coming down a bit or not. On Friday here, we have really the bunch of data, but the most important would be the price index as well as the goods trade balance numbers here. Actually, the consumer sentiment numbers will be important as well. Actually, Chicago PMI too, even though it's not marked in red, these are important numbers to watch. If they are positive, that should give the stock market a boost. So we'll keep that in mind here. All right, so let's go on to our charts here. We'll start off with euro dollar here. So for the euro, we saw that price went right into the resistance here, and this is where it struggled and wasn't able to go through. So for last 4 days, it was stuck below the resistance here. So with this one here, bias is neutral here, and we may get a retest, and then if it fails again, we're looking for a drop essentially from here. This is proving to be an important support resistance level. So look for a retest and then a potential drop. In this case, the target would be 1.2035. So bias here is neutral and maybe slightly bearish for euro dollar. Pound dollar here, this one has been going up as well. Again, prices into resistance. This is a solid support resistance level. And as we can see here, prices struggled in a similar area previously as well. So same thing here as well. We have a similar candle formation as we saw in euro dollar. The pin on the top suggests that we could see a turnaround. But again, keep in mind, if it goes through the resistance, then it's likely to continue all the way up higher here. But at this point, it looks like we may see retest and a potential pullback here. So neutral bias here. As long as it holds below 1.4230, then we are looking for a drop. So first target here is 1.40 back into this previous support resistance level. This is the range that price had been trading in for quite some time before it made the next move higher. So basically now I'm looking for a retest of this level. And this is where it will be a critical point as well. If it holds above, then we could see a continuation up higher. But if it manages to go through this level, then we are back into the range once again. And basically we could expect a move like that back towards the bottom of this range. So the two critical levels to pay attention to, one would be 1.4230, and then second one 1.400. So these two levels will be important. Aussie dollar here, this one is still range bound here. As we can see, price has been trading in this overall range here for quite a few weeks now. And even this week, price tried to break through, couldn't really manage holding above that level, and we are back into this range again. So this is where price went and retested, and then we are back into this range. So at this point, it is into support level. So this is the range, overall range it's been trading in, but within that, we have this smaller range that it's been stuck in for 5 weeks now. And every time it has failed here, it's bounced off of this level. So we have to be careful here. Last time we had a nice pin bar formation here, actually tweezer top formation. So this was really nice, but it failed. So bear that in mind. It could just do a test of 0.7700 level and then bounce off. So watch out for that. But right now, because it's in a range, bias is neutral. So we'll keep an eye on 0.7700. If it goes through that, next target here is 0.7560 back into the bottom of the range. So neutral to bearish bias here for Aussie dollar. New Zealand dollar, this one as well, it's been trading in this big range, and within that we have a smaller range that it has established here. So it's same thing here. Price got stuck into the resistance just like previously here, and now we have a nice bearish candle close. But bear in mind, right into the support here. So with this one, again, bearish bias, it's still trading within the range, but this could happen just like it did when we had the spin bar. Price came, tested the support level, and then bounced off of that. So watch out for a similar reaction here, because if that happens, we would be targeting the high there. Oops. Okay, so with the next one here, we have, so first target here is 0.7100. Second target will be 0.700. So bearish bias here for New Zealand dollar. Dollar CAD here, this one has been going lower here. Now this week though, bias is neutral to bearish here. The candle is not very strong. For last week, this was neutral. And this week as well, there's this pin in the bottom, which is not very bearish here, and we are coming into the support. So we'll have to be careful. So neutral to bearish bias, if it manages to go through the support at 1.20, then next target is 1.1920 back into the support. So neutral to bearish bias here. Watch out for the support. If it doesn't break this week's low, we are looking for a turnaround in that one. So neutral to bearish for dollar CAD. Euro pound here. Euro pound has been trading sideways here, not really doing a whole lot. Overall, it's trading in this big range between 0.8720 and 0.8470. So in this range. So right now it's right in the middle of the range. It's holding below the previous support resistance level at 0.8640, but it hasn't managed to cross through 0.8560. So right now, if it holds below this level, we're looking for a continuation. So if it holds below 0.8650, then we will look for a continuation back into the support. So in this case, the first target here is 0.8560 and then 0.8480. So neutral bias here for Euro Pound. Euro Swiss franc, this one has been slowly making its way to the downside. This big move to the upside here, it seems to be reversing that or filling that inefficient move. So looking for a continuation lower here. Bias is bearish for Euro Swiss franc. Watch out for a bit of a pullback before it moves to the downside. Target is 1.0875. So bearish bias here for Euro Swiss franc. Pound Swiss franc here, this one also looks bearish. We have a nice weekly bearish pin bar here, and it's holding below this 1.27, 1.2800 level. So it, because it's holding below, I'm looking for it to drop further. Target is 1.2580. So it is in a range currently and just looking for a move towards the bottom of that range. So bearish bias for pound Swiss franc. Dollar Swiss franc, this one is looking bearish as well. As we can see, price held below 0.9085 and it actually did fill this move higher. All of that is now reversed. So we are looking for price to basically go into the support level where it started from. 0.8860 is the first target. And then we're looking at 0.8800 as the second target. So bearish bias here for dollar Swiss franc. Pound yen here. Pound yen is neutral right now. The candle close for the week is completely neutral. Price opened and closed at exactly the same level. So at this point, because it's holding currently, it's holding above the resistance, which means it still has that bullish bias to it, because overall, this is still a bullish trend upwards here. So if it continues to hold above 153.30, we would be looking for this type of a continuation move higher. Now, should it manage to go through the support level, or resistance acting as support, then we're looking for a move towards the bottom of that range. So we're back into the range that price was trading in, and we're likely to see the price drop from there. So bias is neutral here, and it all depends on where price decides to hold. If it holds above 153, we are targeting 156.50 as our target for the week. If it breaks through the support, then we are targeting 149.50, which is the base of our range for that. Euro yen here, this one has been a little bit more bearish here than our pound yen. Okay, so just to move back here, price is into this important support resistance level. It has struggled with this level many times before. So this is where we had a similar setup here. We had a doji back here as well. So in this case, looks more bearish. Like I said, we are looking for a drop. So we may get a bit of a pullback and then looking for a drop towards 132. And second target, if it gets through that, is so 132 and then 131. So bias is bearish here for euro yen. Dollar yen here, this one has been going sideways here. It's been stuck in this range for last little bit here. So overall, we have a broader range, but within that range, we have this narrow range where price has been stuck for the last 4 weeks. So right now, this is completely neutral. I'm looking for a move between just in the range here. So first target is 108.35. If it holds above, we're looking for a move back towards the top of the range. So this is basically just range bound. That's what I'm expecting here. So neutral bias for dollar Swiss franc. Aussie yen here, this one has also been slightly bearish here. However, it hasn't really done much. It's still stuck in this range. So this is where we are. Overall, we have a bigger range, but it hasn't moved. It has been really low movement here. So this is the range between 85.40 and 83. This is where it's been stuck. Now we do have a bearish candle close, so I'm looking for a move back towards 83. However, what we need to watch out for would be the support that it's into right now. So we had this support here. Price did go through that. So now I'm looking for a move back towards 83. So bearish bias, just with caution, because the level the support that we are in, if we go all the way back here, this is where price had reacted and we are into that support currently. So this is an important support. So just watch out for that. But bias is bearish for Aussie yen with 83 as our first target and then 82.20. New Zealand yen, this one as well, as we can see, prices into support here. It's been stuck in this range. So that's our daily. Let's change to weekly here. As we can see, there is this broader range that price has been trading in. And then we have a narrower range that it has formed over the last few weeks. So this is the broader range. And then this is the narrower range it has been here. So right now, price is right into the support. So watch out for that. But next, it is bearish. And next target, so this is the support it's struggling with. This resistance is acting as support now. And this comes all the way from here as well. So it's important. Next target here, bias is bearish though. Next target is 76.60. And then below that, we have 76.00. So bearish bias here for New Zealand yen. CAD yen, this one is looking neutral right now. And price is into resistance. So it's into resistance right here, the support and resistance. So this is where we are. Neutral candle close here, which means it can go in either direction. So neutral bias for now. And depending on which direction it wants to move in, if it goes through the support, we will be looking for move lower towards 88.50. If it goes through the resistance, then we'll target the next level here. So this one will have to wait for price to show us direction here. So in that case, 91.70 will become the next target. So for now, it's completely neutral. For 2 weeks, it has struggled with that resistance. So if it fails to go through, we're looking for a move back down for this one. So neutral for now. All right, so let's take a look at commodities here. We'll look at silver. Silver, big pin here. So this is bearish here. Now, in this case, what I would expect would be a pullback and then a drop here. So 26.65 is the target. So bearish bias for silver. Gold here, gold still looking bullish here. It's coming into resistance, but there is room to the upside here. Next target is 1905. So bullish bias here, but watch out, we have all kinds of resistance currently where price is. So this is a bit of a zone of resistance here, but bullish bias, next target 1905. Oil here, oil is stuck in a range. As we can see, price did come back down and then bounced off of a little bounced off a little off of the support here. Overall though, it's kind of sideways right now. So neutral bias, just expecting price to go sideways at this point, looking for a retest of the low potentially. But right now, this is looking a little neutral. It hasn't moved much over the last 5-6 weeks. So neutral bias for oil. Copper has been back and forth, quite volatile here actually. So we had a big spike up and now it looks like it wants to come down. So this week here, we have a nice bearish candle. Last week, we were looking for it to drop. We did see that. But right now, it is looking bearish, but watch out for the support. We are coming into support here. So watch out for 4.39 and then 4.31 is the second target here. So bias is bearish for copper. Bitcoin here, Bitcoin, this is not an updated chart, but Bitcoin has been dropping. So the current price here is 32. So overall, still looking bearish here. We are into support. And then 29,900 is the next target here. So bearish bias for Bitcoin. And then let's take a look at our stock market here. This one is right now, this is neutral. We do see price bounce off of the support, which means we could see price go towards the highs again at 42.40. So for S&P 500, we could see a retest of 42.40. So this is where we are. So from on the daily, we can see price has been sideways here, or it's been stuck in this consolidation in a range for a bit here, and it's rejecting 41.85, but it also rejected the support. So I would say neutral right now, but if it breaks through this resistance, then we will target the high at 40 to 40. But for now, neutral bias for S&P 500. Nasdaq here, we have similar thing. As we can see, prices bounced off of the support, so we could see it go towards 13,700 level. But looking at the daily, we see that price is struggling here. It is into this previous support resistance level where it has struggled previously. So 13,570. So bias here is basically neutral. I'm looking for a move into the range. But if it were to break through this resistance level, only then we'll be targeting higher. So right now, this is neutral. Again, expecting a range-bound move here. And then Dow Jones as well, same thing. As we can see, price has been kind of sideways here for a bit now. Last several weeks, it bounced off of the support level on the weekly, but on the daily, as we can see, it is in a range currently as well. So again, I'm expecting a range-bound move between 34,500 and 33,500. So expecting price to stay in this range. Should it go through the resistance, then we'll target the high of 35,100. So for right now, though, neutral. And then DAX here, a very similar behavior in DAX as well, as we can see. So this is our daily again. As we can see, it's been stuck in a range right now. It is towards the high of the range, so we could see a break towards 15,675. So overall, neutral to bullish bias for DAX. And then Ftse here, Ftse also basically all the stock markets that we're looking at, they are just following each other here. This is where we are overall. Bit of a range here. We saw a rejection of the support. So I will look for a move towards 7065 and then potentially towards 7100. So right now, overall though, I'm just expecting a range bound move here as well. And then for Nikkei here, Nikkei is also interesting. We saw a big pin and then a pin, so we could see move back towards 29,120. But again, if you look at the daily here, it is struggling with resistance. This is where it hasn't been able to go through this resistance. It's pushing into it, which means if it breaks, then we will look for price to go back and test the top of the pin here. But and also it opens up this inefficient move that we saw, and it could go higher. However, if we take a look at this range, so in this case, what we saw was price broke down and then it went sideways and went and then made a high and then dropped from here, so we could go back into this level again. So we will watch this on the daily, but for now it is still neutral. It's trading within this range. Once it breaks the range though, then we'll target towards, let's see, the next target here would be 28,800. For now, first we have to see what price does with 28,500. If it holds below, then we'll come back and aim for the bottom of this range. Otherwise, we're looking to fill this inefficient move here. All right, so that's all for today. You guys have a wonderful trading week, and I will be back again with the daily tomorrow. Bye for now.